So something a little bit different and perhaps even a little bit controversial in this video, but I'm going to back it up with numbers, and perhaps what I'm trying to do is make you think a little bit differently about your pension in the UK. Now, this is not for everyone, and there are some caveats I'm going to go into at the end that you must consider before making any decisions. So the general consensus is that you should invest in your pension. So I've said it before, I even do it myself, but it is really important to look at the numbers objectively and check how they are actually working out for you, and how in certain circumstances consider that you might actually be better off not investing into a pension at all. So don't forget, I am not a financial advisor or a planner. It is just my take on things. Please do not act on the basis of this video alone. You must do your research. This is something that I've spoken to a lot of people about in my personal life, and they don't know actually anything about it. They've never heard of this. Now, I'm a massive fan of saving for retirement. At the end of the day, that is what this channel is about. I'm trying to reach financial independence myself, and along the way, I'm hoping to try and inspire or even help people to do the same sort of thing. But in order to do that in the most efficient way possible, sometimes we need to take a step back, have a look at the numbers, and objectively see if another way might even be better. Because at the end of the day, it's possible to have the best of intentions and still not get the best returns you possibly could, just because you haven't considered something else. And well, this is why. Let's look at an example. Average UK salary at the moment is £30,000 according to the Office for National Statistics. Now, pensions, they're now operated in a way which is an opt-out scenario, which means if you work for a business, you will automatically be included into the pension scheme. So the minimum contribution at the moment is 5% from yourself and 3% from the company. So this means you're going to have 8% of £30,000. This is £2,433, or per month it's £203 per month. So if you started working at 21 and then got this wage without any pay increase, I know it's unlikely, but it just helps with this scenario. We're trying to keep it simple here. And you were investing £203 per month into your pension. Now we're going to assume that you're going to get a 9% return on average over the life of the pension, and that's a pretty average return across the market, and you're retiring at 68%, which will be the pension age if you're 21 today, unless they move it again. Now, don't forget, the government loves your money, so they might come after it and they might make you work longer or take an even greater chunk of it if they see fit. And if you don't think this could happen, just have a look at Hungary and Poland 10 years ago. But if you invested that amount over 47 years, you can see here on one of my favorite websites, link below, that your pot would be worth 1.8 million quid. So that's a lot of dollar. £203 per month invested every month will give you that enormous sum. Not bad, hey? So let's recap. This is the average salary making the minimum pension contribution over a working career, over life, assuming no pay increase and an average return of 9%. You'd have 1.8 million quid, so that sounds great, but what's the catch? And this is where those pesky politicians come along with their grubby, greedy little hands. So for a few years now, the UK government has passed a legislation which was brought in, and it's called the Lifetime Allowance for Pension Savings. And this declared that you usually will pay tax if your pension pot is worth more than the lifetime allowance of £1,073,100. So don't forget, this is the average worker who doesn't get a pay rise in nearly 50 years, investing through their pension in the bare minimum and getting average returns. They're going to have £1.8 million. So what will happen to any money you have invested that goes over this amount? Tax, of course. Tax is what happens. That's what happens. That's what always happens. So first off, any amount you take as a lump sum above the 25% allowance permissible now will be taxed at 55%. So you're allowed to take it at 25% tax free, and anything you do above that, it's going to be taxed at 55%. So that's over half of your money is going to them nasty little creatures. Precious. But if you think, all right, I'll just take it out as an annuity, right, monthly basically, then any amount above this threshold again gets hit with 25% tax and then income tax on top. Greedy, greedy buggers. The thing with this is it was introduced by the dirty little hobbits. I mean, the UK government in a really untransparent way, in my view, and as such, a lot of people they just don't know about it. So I'd hate for someone to be doing the right thing, ploughing into their pensions with the expectation that their money was, heaven forbid, actually going to be theirs when they retired. Now, before everyone rips me a new one in the comment section, I want to add some caveats to this. So yes, you can stop contributions at a nominal level. So you reach, for example, 400k by the time you're 40, then just stop and let compounding take over and carefully manage it so that you don't end up going above this threshold. But that's really difficult to manage and make actually happen. Secondly, one of the benefits of pensions is it locks you in. You cannot access your pension when you're 35 and decide to quit work and spend 6 months spending it on whatever you want. And number three, pension contributions are tax-free. So there's a 20% gain for lower rate taxpayers and a 40% gain for higher rate payers. At the point of paying in, you're going to save a significant amount. But what I want you to take from this is perhaps I should have a look at my numbers. Perhaps I just need to check I'm doing the right thing for my long-term financial prospects, and just look into it, because don't forget, pensions, after all, they're fudging boring and most people don't even think about them. But hopefully this video will do exactly that. Will make you just have a look and consider the numbers for your given circumstances. Now, if you're interested in pensions, and by Jesus, who isn't, that means you're probably going to be very interested in getting the most from your financial future. And I've got 3 tips right here that I'm sure will help.